I'm Amanda Tippett. I'm the education leader here at the Palm School of Rexburg, and I've had the wonderful opportunity to work with Vivienne Mackinder. So this is my beautiful model, Amanda, and step one, what I'm doing is right here in the nape area and towards the short hair at the temple area, I'm just applying 1B PM shines just to add some depth. So step two, what I'm doing here is I am taking diagonal sections and I'm pulling the hair back from its natural hair fall, so when it falls back to its natural place, that it's diffused. So I'm going to apply the black to the root, and then just here at this line of demarcation where you can see it get lighter, I'm going to apply a 20 volume lightener just to lighten those ends so that we can, when we add the inkworks over top, that it just really gives that bright red color.
Here we go now. See, it's not what you look like when you do it, what you do it, express yourself. Here we go now, go now, go now, go now, go now, go now, go now.
So now what I'm doing is, now that I've gotten to the apex of the head, this hair is a little bit longer, so what I'm doing is taking the black at the base about 1.5 inches out, and then that middle section I apply the lightener to it, and then the very ends I'm applying the black again at the ends, and then I'm pulling it away from its natural hair fall. So once again, when we do comb it to the natural hair fall or the way that we want to style the hair, it's going to give it more diffused look.
Hello, I'm Vivienne Mackinder. Thank you for watching this tutorial on one of my favorite techniques. One of the things I love about this is the movement and dimension that it creates on a flat surface. What I would suggest when you're designing this technique, make sure you're at least 2 levels apart when you're doing your color banding, because you do need to see that contrast. So while I love this technique, you can see we've got that wonderful bright end popping. I know that if we didn't have the extreme contrast in selecting our colors, we wouldn't see this beautiful dimension. I mention that because I've seen this technique go right and I've seen it go wrong. But what I do love is how this will take a very commercial haircut and make it very sort of edgy and interesting and yet expensive. And I think that's the brilliance of what you're looking at right now. So as long as you don't get too confused with the depth and the pre-lightened and you work on your pattern, you will have an amazing end result.
Gorgeous Amanda, her before, as you can see, and now her after. We wanted to do something based on the consultation which was going to be very inspired by Anne Hathaway but with some edge. So we've got classic, we've got edgy, and when we show you the colour which Jo has done, which I'm going to have her explain in a sec, let's just turn around. Strong line through here, nice snug graduation all the way through. The top part is razored, the underneath is cut with the scissors, and we've got this lovely little sweep, just very sexy, lots and lots of weight taken out, and she does have super thick hair. The colour, just drop your chin, darling. Look at this amazing, come closer to the lights. Look at this amazing colour, and look at what happens when we brush it this way. Oh, Jo, baby, you are fierce. So, Jo, just summarise what you did, darling.
Okay, so with the color, because she did want that classy, edgy look, here in the back we have that tight graduation, and anything that was 3 inches or shorter I took to a solid black just so that we didn't end up spotty, and anything 3 inches or longer we kind of alternated black at the base into, we had lightened the mid shaft and then we put black on the ends, and then we went through and just did an ink manicure over top just to give that edgy, that red color, just that pop of color to her hair so she could have that edgy look.
I love it. I think that for me I need a little change now and then, so flipping it is a really nice thing for me.
Cool.
This is another wonderful example of taking this fabulous color pattern technique on Katrina and using a bob as our base. Often we have limitations with the length of a hairstyle, but we don't have limitations with the color placement. So here you can see we've got the variations of over direction color pattern, which creates this beautiful tortoiseshell effect. And there you can see with the haircut, a very nice strong bob line, the perimeter cut against the skin. The interior was razor cut to create this beautiful movement and texture. And what gives it its gorgeous roundness is number one, the blow dry, and of course the haircut itself. But this lovely effect is also created because underneath we have short hair, and as you can see, I actually took the hair very, very close underneath the occipital bone, which allows for the hair to lay over and around this short interior. Here on Leandra, a wonderful example of a transformation. Now, she really surprised me. Who knew this edgy girl would want a classic with a twist?
See, it's not what you look like when you do it, what you do it, express yourself. Here we go now.
Leandra has had a radical change, haven't you, darling?
I have. I went from collar length, faded out red, and now I've got something that's sophisticated and sexy, which is fabulous.
And that's exactly what you wanted, wasn't it?
Yes, actually it was.
I know, she completely fooled me. So what's amazing about what's happened here is the colour is absolutely extraordinary. Camille did the colour, and let me talk about the haircut, then I'll talk about the colour. So we cut a baseline through here, square, and then curving around. And then I graduated through here, so they had a nice round sort of edge, coming through into our bob line. And because we were going for a classic look, I wanted an edge with classic and sort of sophistication, and I know that sounds crazy, but this color technique is actually one of my favorite ones to play with, which is where you actually take the hair and you over-direct it backwards, and in over-directing it backwards, in this case, dark, red, and dark, so that when it falls down, it's this wonderful mottled effect, and I just think it's just so yummy, yummy, delicious, and gorgeous. You look fierce, baby.
Thank you.
Cool, huh?
So what a wonderful transformation. And as I mentioned, during my consultation, I was so surprised when I was told, no, I want a classic hairstyle with an edge. I was getting ready to shave her head. Little did I know. So check out on Hair Designer TV, Viv's consultation, because you'll find there that it's the gatekeeper to great makeovers. Another great transformation, taking a basic layered haircut, doing asymmetric effect, and look how gorgeous this diffuse color is on my beautiful model. And you can see that we've got movement, we've got texture, and no matter how she runs her fingers through her hair, she's got this wonderful dimension. Again, this hair was colored with this over direction color pattern technique. On Cheyenne, we chose to do something a little more interesting by playing around with primary colors and really tumbling the color through. As you can see, we have our pre-lightened ends. We're using the clear wrap so that we can see through and be able to do very exact color placement. So what Jen's doing here is she's laying the red into the previous red, the green into the previous green, and all of the over direction creates this diffused color effect, which I think is absolutely beautiful. So you can over direct backwards, you can over direct side to side, but the key is to over direct in order to create this beautiful effect. So the power of a makeover is always amazing, and you can see very commercial haircuts but made to look extremely expensive and couture and exciting by this wonderful way of over-directing to create a beautiful color pattern. I hope you've enjoyed this. Check out more color techniques on Hair Designer TV, and thank you to my friends at Paul Mitchell, The School.